Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon FBA business for sale in the kitchen and dining niche. Created in March 2016, this business makes $3,690 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 45387. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Marco, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure, and I'm excited to discuss this business with you. But before we dive into the questions that I have for you, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, the business was built in March of 2016, has a monthly revenue of $20,407, expenses of $16,717 to make for a net profit of $3,690, which is generated on a 6-month average. Included in the sale of this business are 2 active SKUs with 1 out-of-stock SKU and 3 more in production, Facebook account, domain, SOPs for all working procedures. Marco, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yes, of course. Before I started building online business, I was a salesman. I was selling coffee to coffee shops. And then I was doing that for about 6 or 7 years. Yep. And then one day, opportunity of selling on Amazon as an FBA came across. I bought the course, and since then I'm online. I kept the job for another year, and since April 2017, I'm full-time in this online space.
And you've been doing this now for quite a while. So why have you decided to sell this business today?
It's quite simple answer. To be honest, since it's my first business that I started to build in March 16, as you said, there was a lot of things that I would have done different if I would have knowledge that I have now. It's a knowledge sorry, I lost the word.
No, you're good.
It's the things that I learned throughout the way.
You've learned a lot of lessons throughout the experiences you've had with this business.
Exactly. Thank you. And that's exactly as you said. And the second main reason is because I'm doing this full time and it's working only on a cash flow of the business itself. I see many more opportunities on selling on Amazon. So I decided to sell this business so I can get a bit more of capital, so I can invest more in building 1 or 2 more brands.
You mentioned that one of the main reasons you want to sell it is now you've learned a lot that you can take into future businesses. Why don't you try, what would stop you from taking those lessons that you've learned and using them to improve this business? Why do you want to start over?
Well, it's simply because of the lack of the capital. I don't have any. I live in Europe, so we have different terms about getting credits or loans or something like that. So it's kind of harder for me having business in US and having actual company in Europe, so I can get any loan or any kind of credit for doing the business. And it's simply because of the lack of the capital. I mean, every business needs positive cash flow. I mean, itself have good cash flow, but the problem is that if you want to invest on a bigger scale, you need to have more capital. So only reason is because of the knowledge and opportunities I see out there on Amazon. As I see them, the only thing that preventing me to going in on a higher scale is the capital. So that's basically it.
When you take a look back over the last year for this business, one thing that you notice is that the last holiday season, 2017 holiday season, going into January of 2018, was much more profitable than this year's holiday season. So is that because of the out-of-stock SKU?
No, it's because of the holiday. I mean, over the whole year of 2017, one particular SKU was a bestseller throughout the year from January till the mid of December when we got out of stock. And then we received inventory. I think it was at the end of December, but then, it continued to the January and February. But end of February or beginning of March, product was examined by Amazon because they needed to check if product is in inventory as described on listing. So because of that hit and that repeated one more time, the main reason is because of the keyword ranking dropped. And because keyword ranking dropped, that led to less sales. On Amazon, everything is driven by keyword ranking. So products are sold based on the keyword ranking they obtain on each individual keyword. So yeah, that lead to one thing led to another. So later, because of that drop, we tried many different approaches how to reinstead or how to get those keyword rankings back. But in the meantime, on the beginning of April, Amazon changed algorithm. So all the previous tactics that worked, it suddenly didn't work anymore at that time. So we took about 4 months of testing what does work and what doesn't. So in those 4 months, we figured out what works and how it works. So that's the reason why from August and so on, keyword ranking is climbing up. And that's why also sales again climbs up.
So, if you had to look at this business as it currently is today, what does it take from you, Marco, the owner, to maintain it as is? I mean, regardless of being down from last year, you still did about $9,500 in profit in December of 2018. So, what does it take to maintain this business to do that?
You mean on weekly basis or?
Yes.
Basically, it doesn't take almost nothing, to be honest. All it takes it's a couple of hours per week because all we have to do. I mean, business is pretty much passive because of all how it's structured. So my basic work now is just replying customers of any questions they have. That's about 4 or 5 times per week, and it takes just a couple of minutes to reply. That's one thing, and the other is just paying attention on the inventory that everything is in place and inventory is as it should be. I mean, there's enough stock and that's it. There's nothing more that needs to be done on a weekly or daily basis.
And it's only you working on the business, right? You don't have any partners or employees helping you out?
No, I don't.
Can you explain to me what's been going on with the SKU that's out of stock and then the 3 more in production?
There's a little bit of mistake because I have 3 active SKUs, 2 in a production and 1 out of stock, but production already finished. So those which is out of stock, it's basically just, again, because of the lack of the capital. That's the only reason. I had different plans when we started that product, but because of the overall drop of the one particular SKU, I wasn't able to provide that kind of money, and I didn't want to borrow from family and friends.
What do you feel are some of the major opportunities for growth for this business that you would take advantage of if you were to keep it?
To be honest, it kind of hurts because I see a lot more potential in chosen products and in products that are already selling. It's simply because of the competition that it's out there. And these products were picked based on the good profit margin and particularly on a good ROI. So I always try to pick products that have quite a good ROI. I mean, ROI bigger than 100%. So yeah, and to launch those products, it wouldn't take much capital and much of investment, I said. So yeah, I see this particular brand has quite a lot of room to grow.
Do you feel like there are any potential risks associated with this business that a new owner should be aware of?
I actually don't, because all products are quite simple. So in terms of complex products could cause more return issues and things like that. So this is not the case. And on the other hand, FBA business as it is, let's say if you play by the rules, it's quite safe. So we didn't have any major problems in almost 3 years now. So I don't actually see any problems. It's also just one SKU per product. That means that it doesn't have any variations or sizes. So it's quite straightforward. People can make mistakes by ordering wrong sizes or wrong colors. So yeah, I try to avoid any kind of those potential problems that could occur later.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, of course. I'm aware of that. So yeah.
Awesome. And how much support are you willing to offer the new owner during the transition period?
How much am I offered?
Yes.
I would be happy to help even further than just 30 days after the business transaction. So it's it's still a very interesting project for me, and I see a lot of growth and opportunities. A lot of opportunity in growth. So I would be happy to help new owner further on.
Are you open to negotiating on something like an earnout?
I am open, but I would prefer not. But I am open to negotiate.
Awesome. Marco, thank you very much for taking the time with me today. Before I let you go, let's pretend that you were looking at this business from the perspective of a buyer. Why do you feel like it is a business worth buying?
To be honest, just because of the past sales. And if you compare that to where the business is now, and because of the knowledge, or I mean, not the knowledge, but basic understanding what works now and what worked in the past and how things change, I believe it would show me that business have a lot of room to grow. So I would kind of be happy to buy that kind of business.
Marco, thank you very much for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and it was my pleasure.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you will be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.